Wait before you spend another dollar at the nursery. I just discovered something that's going to completely change how you think about growing vegetables. What if I told you that right now, in your backyard, there are 7 crops that literally make nurseries nervous? Not because they're hard to grow, but because they're almost too profitable when you start from seed. Stick around because we're about to reveal the exact plants they don't want you knowing about, and I'm talking about plants you already have access to. Your grocery bills are about to look completely different. Hey there, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we prove every single day that you don't need a fancy landscape degree or a trust fund to grow in abundance at home. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us. We break down gardening in a way that actually makes sense, without all the complicated jargon that makes your head spin. Every video we drop is designed to help you save money while growing food that tastes a million times better than anything you'll find at the supermarket. If you've been here before, welcome home. You know we keep it real and we keep it practical. Let's get straight into today's episode because what we're about to share is genuinely something that changed the game for our community. Before we jump in, do me a quick favor. If you're watching this on your phone or laptop right now, hit that subscribe button. It takes literally 3 seconds, and you're going to want the notification when we drop our next video because trust me, what's coming next is even crazier than this. And if today's video resonates with you, drop a like. That helps us reach more people who are tired of spending money unnecessarily on their gardens. Let's go. Okay, so here's what nobody talks about. Nurseries make their money in 2 ways. First, they charge you for plants that are already partially grown. Second, they count on you not knowing which seeds produce the fastest returns. But we're not nurseries, we're gardeners just like you, and we're about to flip the script. Crop 1, microgreens. Let's start with something most people completely overlook. Microgreens. I know you've seen them at fancy restaurants, right? Tiny little greens on top of expensive plates? Here's the thing nobody tells you. These aren't some exotic plant requiring a PhD in botany. They're literally baby versions of plants you already know. Broccoli, radish, mustard, alfalfa. Here's why nurseries hate talking about microgreens. You can grow them in your kitchen on a windowsill using just paper towels and water. No soil, no pots, no outdoor space needed. The profit part that gets them worried? A single seed packet that costs you about $2 produces enough microgreens in 2 weeks to sell for $15 to $20. That's not a typo. We're talking about a 10-fold return in just 14 days. The uncommon part that people miss is the timing. Most people think you need a huge operation. Wrong. You just need consistency. 1 small tray started every 3 days means you have fresh microgreens flowing every single week. Your local restaurants, farmers markets, even your neighbors will line up for these. We've had community members doing this in apartments and making enough to cover their entire grocery budget just from microgreens alone. Crop 2, mushrooms. Now let's talk about something that feels like you're growing magic underground. Mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms specifically. Here's why this one exists in a blind spot for most people. We think of mushrooms as grocery store items, not something you grow. That's exactly why they're so profitable. Oyster mushroom spawn, basically mushroom seeds, combined with straw or coffee grounds creates a harvest in about 6 weeks. You can start with a $5 investment and pull in $40 to $60 per flush. Some people are doing 3 flushes per season. The wild part that nurseries absolutely do not advertise is that coffee shops will literally give you free used grounds. Your main cost just disappeared. What makes this uncommon is that you're not competing with traditional gardeners. Most people growing vegetables don't even think about mushrooms. You're stepping into a market where there's demand but almost nobody local is supplying it. Your yield per square foot absolutely dominates lettuce or tomatoes. That's just facts. Crop 3. Ginger from rhizomes. This is where it gets interesting. Ginger. I can feel some of you thinking ginger sounds tropical and complicated. It's absolutely not. You buy a small piece of ginger from your grocery store. Plant it. Wait about 9 months. Harvest pounds and pounds of ginger worth way more than what you paid. But here's the financial part that people sleep on. If you bought 1 pound of ginger for $2, planted it, you're harvesting sometimes 5 to 8 pounds 9 months later. That's a $50 to $100 return on a $2 investment. Some of you are going to harvest more ginger than you can use. Sell it. Your neighbors, friends, coworkers, they're all buying expensive ginger at the store. The uncommon angle is that ginger actually improves your soil. After you harvest it, you've got this nutrient-rich growing medium left behind. You're not just growing food, you're building better soil for next year. That's compound returns. Crop 4. Green onions or scallions. Okay, this one is going to feel almost too simple when you realize it. Green onions. Scallions. Listen, how many times have you bought a bunch of green onions, used 3 of them, and thrown away the rest? We've all been there. What if those root ends you've been throwing away could just keep regenerating? The uncommonly known part here is that green onions regrow from the roots in water. You don't even need soil the first few times. Buy 1 bunch for $1.50. Trim the onions. Put the roots in a cup of water. 1 week later, they've regrown. You've got scallions again. This is genuinely the perpetual crop that keeps giving. After 3 or 4 water generations, plant them in soil and they establish permanent roots. Now you've got an endless supply. Some people are growing so many scallions this way that they're literally giving them away and still producing more than they can manage. That's the kind of return we're talking about. $1.50 turning into months of free vegetables. Crop 5. Luffa gourds. Here's where it gets really creative. Luffa gourds. These are not on most people's radar, which is exactly why they're profitable. A luffa is a gourd that when dried and processed becomes a natural sponge. You know those expensive natural sponges you buy at the store? That's a dried luffa. But the profit angle is way bigger than just sponges. Luffa plants produce heavily. You can harvest green luffas as a vegetable if you want, similar to zucchini. But if you let them mature and dry on the vine, you've got a product people actually pay a premium for. We're talking $5 to $7 per dried luffa online or at farmers markets. The part that most people completely miss is the dual timeline. Some people eat them young. Some grow them specifically for the sponge. You get to choose. A single plant produces 10 to 20 luffas easily. That's $50 to $100 from one plant. Your seed investment was probably 50 cents. And here's the kicker that nobody mentions. You can save seeds from your luffas. So year 2 is nearly free. Crop 6. Basil from seed. Let's talk about something that looks basic but operates like a money printer when you understand the angle. Basil. Fresh basil. You've seen the little pots at grocery stores for $4 or $5 each. They usually last about 2 weeks before dying because stores don't really know how to care for them. You do. Growing basil from seed is stupid easy. Seeds sprout in about a week. Full harvest-ready plants in 4 to 5 weeks. But here's the part that makes it profitable in a way people don't expect. Basil plants grown indoors under basic LED lights produce year-round. You're not limited to a growing season. Winter, summer, doesn't matter. What makes this uncommon is the scale potential combined with the ease. Some people are running 6 to 10 basil plants continuously, harvesting fresh leaves every single week. At $5 per small market bunch, you're looking at $20 to $50 weekly just from one windowsill. And basil regrows. You don't replant constantly. One plant gives you harvests for months. The financial compounding here is insane. Crop 7. Garlic scapes. Finally, let's talk about something so overlooked that most gardeners don't even know it's a moneymaker. Garlic scapes. You probably don't even know what these are. They're the flower stalk of a garlic plant. Restaurants go crazy for these things. They're tender, slightly garlicky, incredibly versatile. Here's what makes this wild. You plant garlic cloves in fall. Throughout the winter and spring, you're just maintaining them. Come spring, the plant sends up this scape. You cut it off. You can harvest scapes multiple times per plant before the garlic finishes bulbing underground. Fresh garlic scapes sell for $8 to $12 per pound at farmers markets. The uncommon knowledge that nurseries don't advertise is that you're essentially getting 2 crops from one planting. You harvest the scapes in spring, then harvest the actual garlic bulbs in summer. A single garlic plant can generate $5 to $7 in scapes alone before the bulb harvest. And garlic is stupid easy to grow. You literally plant it and forget it for most of the year. Real quick. I want to check in with you. Are you starting to see how different this approach is? You're not looking for one massive crop. You're thinking about diversity, timing, and market demand. If you're already thinking about which of these you want to try first, comment down below right now. Just drop the number. Microgreens? Mushrooms? Tell me which one is calling you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. We do this every single week, and I promise you're going to find at least one video that changes how you approach your garden. Let's continue. Before we wrap up, I want to give you the framework behind why these 7 crops are specifically profitable. They all share something in common that nurseries absolutely do not want you realizing. First, they're all high demand in your local market. Second, they're all relatively easy to grow. Third, they all have rapid turnarounds or perpetual harvest potential. And fourth, they're all underutilized by regular gardeners. Most people are growing tomatoes and peppers. Great crops, but everyone has them, so the market is flooded. These 7? You've got white space in your local economy. Your neighbors want these products. They're just used to buying them from stores or online at inflated prices. When you show up with fresh homegrown versions at half the price, you become their solution. The financial model here isn't about volume like commercial farms. It's about margin and consistency. You're looking for crops that multiply your investment quickly or generate ongoing returns from minimal inputs. That's what we've outlined today. Here's what I want you to do right now. Don't just watch this video and forget about it. Choose one crop that resonated with you most. Look up how to start it this week. Seriously. Not next month. This week. Leave a comment telling us which one you're starting with. That helps us understand what content resonates most with you, and honestly, it motivates us to keep creating. If you found today's video valuable, smash that like button. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps the algorithm understand that real people are getting value here. And subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. We're putting out new gardening strategies every week that are going to help you build a thriving garden without breaking the bank. If you want even more specific guides on any of these crops, let me know in the comments. We're planning detailed breakdowns for each of these in the coming weeks. Thanks so much for spending time with us today on Earthly Gardening. You're part of our community now. Let's grow something beautiful together. I'll see you in the next video.